Apparently it's Viking purgatory.
Purgatory, yeah, something like that. Um, but and the world's fucking huge. Use the roof. Boom. Okay, that should be enough.
Okay.
Your station is too exposed. Get out of here.
My station is who's? Hold on. I'm talking to Hugin. I'm Hugin, sent here to guide you in your travels. The megaliths surrounding you are the sacrificial stones. They represent the Forsaken, which you must slay in order to ascend to Valhalla, where they have delicious Swedish meatballs.
Nut shop? Oh, nut storp.
Yeah, I'm Njuksdorp. Excuse you. Don't mock my family's heritage.
I'm just trying to pronounce it. Yeah. As you like collect recipes and stuff, or not recipes, ingredients, new recipes will be unlocked. But the first thing we gotta get for you is a axe and a hammer.
Okay, hold on. Okay, cool. I see.
Wood and stone.
Okay.
Yeah, tab is your quick crafting.
Oh, okay.
Before we get a pickaxe, to get stone, you have to just like find it on the ground.
Okay. This is a pretty place. I'm wet times 10. Hey, baby.
Wet times 10. Oh, like
yeah, for 10 seconds.
Oh, it's like a time. Okay, yeah, like a timer.
Yeah, I'm wet times 10, baby. This guy wants to talk to me. These magical stones were scattered throughout the lands by Odin as signposts pointing towards the ritual grounds of the Forsaken. If you inspect closer, they will reveal the summoning place of Ikikthrir, your first prey. He is a mighty beast, so you need to properly arm yourself before even attempting to defeat him. These are in words I can't read. His antlers are branches of iron. They crack the rocks and bring down mountains. His hooves are the sound of thunder. His voice, a howling gale. Remind me, actually, I don't know, have I said your name since I got on here?
Yes, you did.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to refer to you as Gundy going forward, though.
Okie dokie.
Just trying to, or at least I'm just not going to say your last
streaming,
name.
Aren't you?
Yeah. Matt's fine, but like I don't want to say like your full name and stuff. That's all.
Matty Matt.
Yeah, Matt's cool. Hail Warrior. So I forget, do you have... Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, I was just gonna say, like in the lower left-hand corner. So it's a bit of a survival mechanic, where you can eat three types of food, and depending on the food, it gives you stamina and health regen over time.
Do I also need to eat just in general?
Yeah, so like here's like a mushroom, and you right-click on it, and in the lower left-hand corner, it'll show you like what you've eaten, and it'll raise your health, and if you run around, it like increases your stamina. But each food has like a certain duration of, when you have to replenish it and stuff.
Right.
But if you don't have anything, you won't starve, which is fantastic.
Okay, so you're not going to starve to death?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the base health is 25.
Okay.
25 health. But the beginning portion of the game is just gathering like weapons and making a shelter and all of that, like preparing for the first boss fight.
Okay.
Which is, I don't know how to say it. It's like Ekther or something. It's a large like deer.
And we need shelter and stuff?
Yeah, so the shelter will give you a buff that's called rest, and
Gotcha.
the rest increases your stamina quicker.
I see.
And then we'll put a crafting station in there and like a bed, all of that stuff. Which
Okay.
oh, put that
So how do I make these? Okay, wait. I can. Okay, never mind. I see. Craft stone axe is what I want right now, right?
Yeah.
I need 2 more stone.
Well, and because we don't have a pickaxe, you just have to like look on the ground for like
Stone.
single portion stone. Yeah,
I
and
see.
that'll Let me just.
So I forget. Do you have kiddos now or no?
No, we just have 2 cats.
Close enough, man.
Yeah, but
See a lizard.
We've been talking, so we'll
What
see.
you been talking about?
You know, about starting a family and all of that. I'm just like.
You already got cats, man. That's so much.
I know. We have 2, and they're brothers, and they're only indoor cats. Which, if you ever want to like create a personality for a cat, I highly recommend just having indoor cats. Like, their personalities will come out, and it'll be cute, but it'll also be fucking annoying.
I'm thinking about getting a ferret. I want a new ferret. I used to have one back in the day.
Ferret. I didn't know that.
Yeah, but it was before I was.
2 dogs.
Yeah, it was before I lived in Oregon City. But they're also prohibited in New York City because Rudy Giuliani made it so, and they haven't removed it. Yes.
Why?
Because he said that they're Weasley and they'll probably get together and leave outside and get together and start mating and become feral, which is not really true of any.
And they'll take
ferrets.
over the city. Damn
That's
it.
what, like, that's kind of what he was talking about. It was nuts. People still
seems kind of drastic.
Yeah, people still have them out here, but like they just have to be.
Is that a city ordinance, not a state thing?
Yeah, it's not a state thing. You can get them in Long Island. You can get them like right up, right outside of the city. I can go up to like Westchester and get them. Just New York City.
That's such an interesting. Not citation. I just said it.
Ordinance. Yeah,
ordinance,
or like city. Oh, there's a goblin. Grayling. Give me a stone, dude. I want to beat you up with this.
Oh, if you press M, it'll bring up your map, and
That's probably useful.
on the lower right-hand corner, there's a visible to all to other players. That will allow me to see your position and you to see my position.
Oh, I see. I see.
I mean, unless you just want to go off and.
No, I get you. I want you to know where I'm at right now, okay? I treat you, you're like the NSA. You pay me, or I'll pay you to steal my data. It's all good.
Okay, well then I'll give the money back, and you can spy on me here. So I was curious, I read a little bit about your, I guess your excerpt about yourself. Like you've been getting into like movie production and movies.
Oh yeah,
stuff.
no, I do. So I study film. I did film.
Okay.
Yeah, and I studied as well at Clackamas Community College, where I learned a lot of actually digital production stuff. And I feel cold. Help me.
Yeah, we're gonna occupy this
House
here.
Oh.
Get that going.
Oh, hold on. I need to get back up there. That's a mushroom. And now I'm at. I don't mind doxing it. I brought it up before, but I go to Columbia University in New York City.
And is that why you moved to
Yep.
New York City for film? Okay.
Yeah, well, to go to Columbia because it's like it was a very nice opportunity. It's an Ivy League school.
Okay.
Downside, like actually CCC had a better like video production type courses. and learned a lot there. And here I learn a lot about theory and go over stuff like that. And then I'm looking at going to grad school like NYU Tisch if I can. So what are we doing in here? We need to light things on fire?
No, that would be a crazy mechanic. No, I mean, this is my personal opinion about playing this game. I don't like going out in the dark because I can't see anything, and you have to have your stupid torch out and stuff. But it's gonna make a couple beds. We can sleep,
Okay.
and it progresses to the day cycle.
Okay.
But if you look at the map, there's like kind of a clearing just to the north of us. It'd be kind of cool to set up camp just outside of the forest here. And then in the clearing, there's usually boar, which will help us make was it like leather rags or just like basic armor type stuff.
Okay.
Let me get bed there.
Hugin.
I think we need a fire. They have. Fuck! I need stone. Damn it!
For a fire.
Yeah. God damn. Pick up some mushrooms.
Ollie.
There's 2 stone. I think I need one more. And then are you so you're going to school, are you working or are you just doing the school thing?
So I have a work study, but it's very involved. So I work at our school's newspaper, which is financially independent from the school, and I am the soon-to-be managing board editor for the video department. And by soon, it's because I'm literally creating the section. It's never existed really before.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, and
Puts you,
say again.
it kind of puts you in like.
Hey.
I don't want to like necessarily say like a. Hey.
Huh?
Oh no, I thought. Sorry. No, I think that's cool that like it kind of puts you in a position of like power, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And as like always add that to your resume and all of that stuff.
It's going to be really nice for my resume. Hold on, there we go. I'm already get like some really cool internship opportunities through it. It's been around since the 1860s, the newspaper. I'm really helping trying to bring it into the modern era. Like I was saying, it's like a couple hundred. It's like 100 and some years old. So.
Okay.
So helping bringing it into this more modern era and doing this stuff is. Oh, it's one of these gremlins that are out here, the Greylings. Is definitely going to be very nice for my resume. Then I'm trying to go to grad school, and then they'll help with getting more internships and more practice and getting things out into like film festivals and stuff like that. And I do shoot now, and unfortunately I was just coming here. I might have lost one of my LED lights, which was really frustrating. So that means I might need to go buy another, but it is what it is. But no, I mean, shooting, I like DPing and editing, so director of photography and editing. I do like acting and being in front of it and doing stuff like that, but overall, I just like creating cool stuff like that and working with people. And then streaming is kind of a fun little extension on that of like putting myself in front of camera, talking about things that I'm passionate about, and part of that's politics, like I mentioned, and discussing, and I've always liked talking with people, and I'm pretty extroverted when it comes to that, and so I enjoy doing that. And it's just more fun for me to like play with more and be lame and buy more sound equipment and like ring lights and cameras and stuff.
Right, because you tell yourself, well, I need this
Yeah,
to
exactly.
make myself sound better or play better or whatever. Like, no, I get that. I get that a lot.
No, I like on me right now. I have my actual camera that I normally use. I have a gimbal too, but that's elsewhere. I have a pull-up green screen behind me, ring light, and I have like a condenser microphone that I'm talking to you on actually, and like studio monitor headphones. Yeah, it needs a roof.
There's a fucking beehive. Well, I was like, we could just like turn this into a starting spot, but there's a beehive in here, and at a low level it could kill you. So
okay, noted.
Doing any damage.
Yeah, I'm getting stung. Ah.
Hope I'm doing damage. I think I'm doing 0.8 damage. What happens if I just like remove everything?
I'm about to lose my torch. Oh, there's a resin.
Oh,
I need more
go.
stone.
That's how you do it. Okay. Do that. Yeah, I just like removed the corner of the house and the beehive went away. So that's good.
So how long have you been with your wife now?
We've been together for 2021, 4 years now.
Oh wow.
But we, it's your typical story. Like we were friends, like, way before we started dating. So I've known her longer than that. But yeah, we've been together for about 4 years. Got married in 2018 at here in Portland, and been doing that, and I ended up going to school for computer programming, and I've been doing that for about 2.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, about 2 years. Yeah, everyone was telling me like that I should look into computer programming at like what they call boot camps, so they're instead of doing like a full 4 years. So I ended up doing a boot camp after friends and family were like, you should do this, you should do this, and I did that, and then I got a job here in Portland, and I've been at the same place for about a year and a half now. I'm still waiting to get hired. Like it was a contract to hire, but because of COVID, the company, the company went on a hiring freeze.
Oh, that's frustrating.
So I've been a contractor for the last year, and it is frustrating, but at the same time, like the way I look at it, like it pays the bills, and I'm constantly getting more and more experience to add to the resume, and it's not the worst thing in the world, I suppose. But it would be nice to be able to like take some PTO and not, because my PTO right now is like, hey, I'm not going to work today, and that's like, X amount of money that I'm not getting paid for that day. So that's kind of annoying.
So wait, it's a part of the PTO. It's what about the X amount of money that you're not getting paid? You're not getting paid PTO?
Yeah, because I'm a contractor, and I don't know if you've ever done contract work, but they basically pay you a flat rate.
But it's a great way to screw you.
Yeah, like I got screwed pretty hard in California for a contracting job, and I have a lot better boundaries because of that.
Yeah.
But this is actually nice because they did offer so what it is I work for a solutions company, like a job placement company, and then they contract me out for X amount of dollars per hour to a second company, and the second company I've been at for a year and some change. But then the second company, we actually have a contract with a Fortune 500 company that pays the second company money, which then pays the company I'm working for to pay me. So it's like a contractor of a contractor of a contractor type thing. And because of that, like I could have opted in to get like not sick days, like vacation days and stuff, but it would have meant my hourly would go down. So I opted out of that. And plus at the same time, it was going to be, hey, we're going to like hire you in 6 months. So.
And now they're not.
And it's not yet. Now that they haven't, like I took a brief break in December, and it's not the company's fault. It's the third company that's not releasing money to the second company, so they don't have the budget to hire me.
No, super complicated way to do that. In the
company meeting we had earlier this week,
a lot of stuff's gonna go that way.
We exceeded our expectations of last year's financial revenue, and it was like the company made like $80 million. I'm like, well, could you like hand some of that money, like maybe $70,000 to me, like, and hire me? That would be great. So at any rate, it's
well. Here's a bit of
like,
a good transition, because I said here's kind of a good transition to go into politics stuff, because it's more fun to actually like talk to people about politics that actually affect them. But this is one of the scariest things, and honestly one of the how things are going to transition a lot more in terms of capitalism. Look at Uber and Lyft, for instance. The gig work economy is getting very large, and on purpose. And it's generally going to be what companies try to do. And this is the best way to... let me like put my feelings out like right off the bat. I am pretty leftist, right? Extremely, actually. So, but like in my lifetime, I don't see anything like Star Trek world happening, right? I don't see capitalism ending in my time either, you know? But there's a couple big things that worry me the most. I want this wood. Oh, rude.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I'm just
you're
expanding
fine.
the house to get a nice fire.
You better make us a... Yeah, this is... Listen, we're going to share a master, okay? A master bed. And I want a nice kitchen, okay, honey?
All right. Sounds good.
And I'll go kill lizards and pick you up some dandelions.
Oh, that'll be great.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Bring me back a bouquet of flowers.
I will.
Thank you.
So,
so you're...
oh, yeah. So, I don't see that happening anytime soon. But what I can do in that amount of time, though, is advocate to go more left in the regards of regulation and making it a bit of a softer, kinder capitalism, right? This is where people bring up the Nordic countries that are not actually socialist, right? They're just...
It's a mix of the two.
Well, you can say that about anything. I mean, we didn't have weekends before in America. You know why we did? Because socialists fought for them. You can say that that's a mix between it, because we now had some socialist policies put in. I can tell you exactly why it's not a socialist country. The main distinction is socialism requires democracy in the workplace. There's kind of a misconception that socialism means no democracy. Democracy in the workplace, or workers owning the means of production, is what makes it socialist. The main difference is in those countries that they actually have a lot of what's the name? Hold on, now I gotta think about it. I normally know this. They have strong unions, basically. There's a term, I forget what it's called. Basically, they have a bargaining chip, though, that they can use through action. Say again?
The workers have this type of bargaining chip.
Right. And that's why a lot of times that they can actually have no real mandated minimum wage, but they all have good wages. It's not because the companies were super nice. It's because they have the ability to pull leverage. And that's been very much enforced throughout time. And so they're not socialist. They do have a larger welfare state, for sure. But here's a big thing in regards to that. We know that, like, that works in countries like that. Now, there is, and like ours, it would. The main difference, the downside to that is out of the reaches of what they call social democracy, or SOCDEM. And why leftists tend to give SOCDEMs a lot of grief. They like to say suckdems. Is because it still is in a capitalist framework, meaning that there is still exploitation happening. Often, though, it's put off to other lower progressed nations. And it still needs basically an exploited working class to survive still. The difference is that there's less of those people in their own country.
Gotcha.
So,
well, and I don't know, as you're talking, like, I was thinking, and when I was in the meeting this, what was it, on Wednesday, I was thinking, like, this is the first company that I've worked at, like, that is actually a really, really big company, because it's based in Canada, but they do it's like a lot of manufacturing to
yeah.
Oh yeah, Tracy. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You're dead. Where do I need to bring
fucking
this?
Tree hit me.
What do I need to do with this? Here rests.
Don't take any of that. No. Well, because I didn't sleep in the.
Oh, it's all your stuff. Okay.
Yeah. So because I didn't sleep in the newly constructed bed, I have to respawn all the way back to where.
Okay, so you can spawn back. That's really pretty out here.
Yeah. Fuck, get out of my way. No, what I was gonna say is though, like the company they're changing the way they do, like, their 2 weeks of vacation a year, and they're changing how they do, like, their 401ks and matching and all of that stuff, and I don't know, it's like what you said, like, I guess what I'm saying is, like, until you kind of experience it or peek behind the curtain, you don't really.
What do you mean? Have I looked up yet?
Necessarily say like you believe in it, but it's just harder to wrap your mind around it until you, I guess, experience it. So the company's like doing all of these changes and kind of restricting the vacation and the time off the employees get, but in the same breath they're saying, "Oh, we've made millions of dollars off of your work on these companies, and we're doing great." Like a good example is when COVID hit.
This seems interesting. I can work with this.
Not in June, but once the lockdowns went in March, in April or May, the company was like, so what we're going to do is we're going to withhold everyone's paycheck that's an employee. We're going to hold 10% of their paycheck because if we have to start laying people off, we're going to essentially give back that 10% as a layoff package and hopes that you come back in a like in hopes that we can get you back, but until then, you'll have some money to get you through, type of thing.
Oh wow! Well, sorry, I had just looked up. My friend told me to do so, and that's a lot of shit.
What?
Looking up.
Oh yeah, the tree. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think it's actually a beautiful piece of art.
It is. But yeah, so you were
Um,
saying about packages about coming back?
yeah, so what the company was doing is they're withholding 10% of every employee's paycheck, and if you're a manager of some sort, they would withhold 20% of your paycheck. And the idea being if the employee had gotten laid off, then the company would then release those funds to the employee as kind of a severance package. And I don't know, it didn't really make sense to me why they would do that, because you would
Here's a
think
severance
that if
package, money that we've
somebody
taken out of your paycheck.
exactly, like if you think that you're going to get laid off, a personal
They can save.
like personal responsibility would say, hey, I should probably start saving up. But instead, the company says, we're going to hold this money, and if we have to lay you off, then we're going to give you this money.
Yeah, no,
Well,
that
that
sounds like
happened
they're trying to save some pennies.
yeah. And that was through the second quarter of last year. And then in third quarter, they're like, hey, turns out our company is actually thriving because the company that mainly does like the work this company does builds a lot of manufacturing machines for different one of the companies that they have a contract with is Ford, and so they will like help build out these massive machines for the production line. And they're like, hey, we're actually doing really well, so we're gonna give you back this 10% and stop withholding all of this money. But then of course that money had an additional tax on it, so you're getting less back than what you would have got if they gave you the 10% in the first place. And I don't know, it was a whole thing. I wasn't affected by that because I was a contractor for the company, so my pay rate stayed the same. But I don't know, just my point being in all of this is like,
Aw, you made a bed that we can cuddle in.
yeah, having those decisions made without really asking the employees was kind of a
Say
dick
poggers
move.
chat. Poggers for sleeping in the same bed.
Yeah, make sure you set your spawn point, so if you die like me by a falling fucking tree,
How do you do that?
here. Just look at the beds. Like this one says unclaimed bed. Yeah. So now
Spawn
that's
point
your
set.
spawn
Oh, okay.
point. Yeah. I was gonna make a chest or two for all the goodies that we get. Oh, and then a fireplace too, because that's important. Put it in this corner.
Let's see what I can craft. They really kind of drop you in without a ton of.
Oh, I love it.
Okay.
I really like games like that.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
this.
They want you to just like learn how to do stuff, huh?
Yeah, it's really predicated around exploration and kind of figuring it out.
If I make arrows, do I need to make a separate bow?
Yes, and to make bows you need boar hide, which I think they're called
Okay.
gags with 2 G's.
How do you make fire though?
So, like this fire that I just put
Yeah.
down. Okay, so you take out your hammer, and it brings up a. You take out your hammer, and then
I don't have a hammer yet. I'm about to make one.
Oh, okay.
I have a stone
so your hammer is your
axe.
Your main.
Oh, hammer's my main?
Your hammer is
I
your
see.
main building tool, and then you right-click, and you can like bring up crafting menus and stuff.
Cooking station, workbench. I see.
And then if you take out your hammer and you look at something and you hit it, it repairs it, and then middle mouse button destroys it.
Middle mouse destroys. Just left repairs.
Yeah, so if you just have your hammer out and you click on something, it'll repair it if it needs to be repaired.
Okay.
And the crafting in this game is actually really forgiving. So if you accidentally put something down that you're like, oh crap, and you delete it, you get all of your stuff back, which is really nice.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna put up cooking station so you can cook those necks.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a good idea.
And the that gives you additional health and bonuses and whatnot.
Nice. It's a cute little hut we have. I like it. Thank you.
It's here.
It's here.
It's here. So the next kind of big thing is to make some armor and maybe make a bow or
other weapons. I can make a club. Torch,
I mean,
wood arrow.
It's a good starting weapon. The like I said, the take it off the fire so it doesn't burn. Here, let me give you.
How you doing over there, chat? I see you guys are still there.
Smelled like somebody pooped. Nobody pooped.
No. Oh, sorry.
I can smell it wafting. Oh yeah, there's no damage.
Oh yeah, I saw that you can change that over here.
Yeah, you can change that. Okay. And the boars can be found in this kind of plains area that we're at, or in, I suppose. Oh yeah, honey.
Okay, there we go.
Sorting this out here. My inventory.
All right, I'm gonna sleepy sleep.
Oh, leather scraps. That's what it's actually called. Okie dokie.
Nighty nighty.
Yeah. So anyways, that's kind of what I've been up to.
Good morning.
Doing a lot of programming and like doing volunteering at the boot camp that I went to, and then I'm working a second job at a pub down the street from us.
Okay.
I've been pretty busy. Today's like the first day off that I've had in 2 weeks, and I got to sleep in past 7:30, which
Nice.
felt amazing.
I'm sure it did. No, and honestly, I'd like to, because I just, like I said, I'm totally happy to just be catching up and stuff right now too. But I do want to bring people on and talk about things like politics and stuff because it's interesting, and talking about divide and things like that so much currently. I think it's talking about politics over gaming is a nice way to like have like an intermediary space.
Yeah, and my big that's one of my big things is like my first thing is like, dude, I haven't talked to you in like
no, I get it. I get it. I didn't want to rush into anything too. I totally understand. And it's nice because we used to play games with each other like all the fucking time.
Oh, I know. Well, one of the games that I play off and on that I think about you a lot is Supreme Commander.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, we actually, my friend and I tried to play that the other day, and I made the switch from Intel to AMD.
I'm on an AMD as well.
Nice. Heyo.
What are you on?
Get out of here, you stupid grayling. I got the Ryzen 9 3900.
Me too.
XT. Yeah, I got it on sale, and then 2 weeks later, AMD released their
yeah.
It's technically their 4th generation, but they call it their 5th generation.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm very happy with what I have, and I upgraded for Cyberpunk.
Me too.
And I ended up getting like my very first self-closing like water cooler. It's
Very nice.
Cooler Master. What is it? It's
you have a
Master
Cooler Master?
240 version 2. It comes with fluid and stuff in it, so all you have to do is like stick it on your processor and mount it to your case.
I have a Corsair one.
Corsair.
Yeah. So I have that, and then I I have a NVIDIA GTX 2070 Super by Gigabyte. It's beautiful because I got it because it's like my case is like white with LED, and it's a white like cased what is the word, aftermarket type one with like multiple fans on it. It looks very nice. So but yeah,
and that's the only thing that's kind of keeping me back, because I upgraded my memory to 32, running at 3400.
I'm gonna kill this boar.
And I'm still rocking the GTX 1060 6 GB.
Yeah.
And that has been a fantastic card. I actually bought it right before Bitcoin took off.
Oh yeah.
And so when I bought it, it was like $240, and then in a month it jumped to $600, and I think that the highest was almost 800. Maybe I should look into the Bitcoin thing.
Pog.
I didn't.
Dude,
but yeah. So, anyways, I agree. The gaming is a good intermediate for politics, such as disagreeing and or agreeing.
Right. Well, it's a nice place because I also like the idea of like what happens when you have to kind of like have to cooperate at the same time while talking. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, and I can get pretty worked up, and in my getting worked up,
I've seen your Facebook posts.
Yeah. But in my getting worked up, like part of the way I process information is like, yeah, here's my opinions, or here are my thoughts on a particular subject. But then when I sit down and talk to someone and gain understanding from the other side, it gives me a little bit more of, like I was too hard, like they have some good points, like and that whole thing comes into like the reason why a lot of us misunderstand is
faceless internet culture does not help.
No, it doesn't. Like social media has totally destroyed any hopes of that. And to be honest, you're the first person who is on the total opposite side of a lot of things that I think and believe on. That is like, hey, I want a conversation. I want dialogue, even though we're gonna disagree. Like, I want to talk about this instead of just like, you're wrong, dumb, I'm cutting you off, bye. Well, and I've had a lot of people do that, and it's really unfortunate because at the end of the day, I enjoy connecting with people and I enjoy talking with people, and even if we disagree, like we can still play games and we still can cooperate or go out for a beer or whatever, and that relationship is something that I want to hold intact.
No, for sure.
Even if we do disagree.
No, I agree. And like, so a big thing for me, I mean, there's definitely always things that are like a real big no-go for me and then I have to like dip out. But like right now, especially, and here's the thing that we can always agree on too. I am like I said, a leftist, right? And there's, I think, this misunderstanding of what that is. Even though I voted for him, I do not want Joe Biden in the White House.
Yeah,
and so there's
a lot of that.
Yeah, and there's this misunderstanding there. I think for a lot of people that like as if that's, it was very much a view for a lot of people that it's like, this is what we can do right now, and we want better. But and so there's always that we can always make fun of libs together. That is for sure. And
well, you're gonna have to set the standard for that, because I don't know. Like, okay, for instance, who would you make fun of right now?
Are we talking about like people in politics or what?
Yeah, anybody. Because I'm not very happy with the Republican Party either.
Sure. Well, I mean, yeah, Cruz is always a good one.
Yeah. He was cool for a while, I thought, and then the last year, I think, totally killed it for me.
Yeah, he's very, I don't know. I definitely view him as always been pretty rough, but he's definitely been, guy is weak sauce, man. But also, Biden and Kamala just in general.
Like you make fun of them?
Oh yeah, of course.
Or, oh, okay, that's good to know, I guess.
Well, like I said, man, like he's not my cult leader. You know, like we voted for him because we thought that like this is like the second to worst option for me, right? Like that we can at least live and find a solution for and try and progress further past this.
Sure.
He's still very much a neo-lib, right? And neo-libs, where a lot of Republicans would agree with, a lot of conservatives would agree with this, that a lot of libs virtue signal and don't really mean what they say, and go on and then just continue doing the same thing that they do very much do agree with Republicans on, which is expanding surveillance state and going to other countries and starting conflicts. Because that, and look, I mean, freaking Patton warned us about this, General Patton, about right after World War II. It was warning about the military-industrial complex, which, it's a huge basis of how our economy functions.
War.
Yeah.
And I agree.
We discovered that worked after World War II, and like even from the lowest levels as a medic in the military, like,
how was that? I know that's a side conversation.
Yeah. I mean, I thought I really wanted to do it when I was going in. I thought I wanted to be a doctor, and I think that I was really more following just like what I thought might be good or what I've thought about, and it wasn't. And when I was in the Navy, I got pretty depressed over some time, and I also didn't realize that I had like undiagnosed ADHD at the time. And I had always been viewed by like my superiors as like really talented. He's going to be great for the Navy one day, but like I couldn't get my shit together. And between that and okay, hold on. Here's my crude bow. What do I need? Two more.
Bow?
No, almost. I think I need.
I still need to find some.
How many? Okay, I need 6 more leather scraps. So I don't almost have a bow.
So if you want some additional health, whoops, I put in the corner over here.
What is it?
It's a cooked necktail.
Oh, thank you.
That'll give you some health as well. Just this extra.
I'm trying to eat, but right-clicking it, right? Oh, that's raw meat. Where's my cooked meat? There it is. Never mind, I found it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's because I was looking at the raw meat. Here's a friend of mine, by the way, in chat. Biden is still part of the oligarchy, part of large corporate interests. 100% agree. So anyways, yeah, no, I enjoyed it.
I agree with that. Whoever said that.
Yeah. There you go, Drew.
Is that is that the Drew that I know?
No.
No. Okay.
He is from because I knew him in Virginia sometimes when I was out there, but he's also a very loyal viewer, very nice guy.
Gotta get those views. Make sure you like and subscribe.
Exactly. Follow. Actually, I got 4 viewers in chat apparently right now. So, get it back over here, dear. I guess Valheim is the meta, I guess.
It is the meta. But yeah, so you were saying like.
So yeah, I got out of that. And then I had made some stuff with my friend Drake, who also was at OC, in editing, and I found out I really loved that, and I thought I was going to do that for a while, and then growing up a steam fitter's son, I was really nervous about of a union son about saying I wanted to do things like film. Now I'm much past that. My dad's all very supportive.
Going from kind of a blue collar to, I guess you'd say white collar.
I mean, it could depend because there's a lot of it that's very union based and very labor based in film. A lot of people don't realize that. I think that's the big problem about it is a lot of people don't recognize how many different jobs and whatnot there's involved in the film industry. But yeah, I was just nervous, you know, especially like I'm looking to direct and edit and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I mean, he's very supportive, but working in healthcare was, interesting. There was moments that were really great, and really fun. And you definitely felt like you made a difference when that person came and thanked you. But the other side of that though, is like most people that you're trying to help, really don't, like they hate you. Like
Really?
there's so many people that like don't want to be there. I had a guy that was an ex-Marine that he refused to, like, he changed his name in the system to be called Lieutenant Colonel still or Colonel still. And then he harassed one of my nurses that was also an Army officer. Like, and like, because so many people don't want to be at the hospital and so they hate what's going on. And then they're like just jackasses to you. And some of it I get, but like...
That's really unfortunate. I mean, I have the utmost respect for anybody in the medical field just because I can't, it's really, really hard for me to...
What credits are you talking about, Andy?
Any of that stuff. Like,
you've read the credits, it's a lot.
I'll talk myself into like either passing out or throwing up, just like thinking about medical stuff on a prolonged deal. Like, it's hard for me to watch Grey's Anatomy type of thing sometimes. Like, my wife loves that show.
Oh yeah.
So and because I can't do any of that, I have like the utmost respect for medical.
So you're not good with like fluids and stuff?
No.
Gotcha.
Like, maybe if I was to think of humans as robots, it might help, but I don't know. Like,
I get it. A lot of people are. Trust me, I was used to it. I had literally wiped off blood off of linoleum floors before with like cavi wipes. It's got a funky irony smell to it. Yeah, sorry. You get used to it.
Like, no, I'm like, well, good for you. Here's the thing: is like, if I need to do that, that's fine. Like, I understand that, but it's not a profession that I would ever.
No, that's fair.
Put myself into.
Yeah, a lot of people can. I totally understand why. But like it definitely was wearing me down, and I was getting a lot of anxiety. I got out actually, and I started working at a place, and after about a year, I started making some mistakes and then having a lot of anxiety, and I made a mistake that could have been really harmful, mentioned it to him, and I got fired. And I tell people that was the best day of my life. I got out, and my friends convinced me to go back to college, and then I went back to college, and then I had a friend convince me to go to Columbia where he was at, and now, and then I got accepted through their, non-traditional student program, and the GI Bill pays for it. So
very nice. Yeah, and you were active duty too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so
but
you get a little bit more, I guess, kickback.
Oh yeah. The downside though is like not all the time, because like right now, like I started a week, like not in the full month, so I didn't get my full paycheck. You know how it works. It's frustrating sometimes. I'm still waiting for my paycheck for my job situation to come in.
You have to wait like an additional 2 weeks or something like that.
It was just less money, which out in New York is a lot. Because my rent is like $21.85 for a 1-bedroom.
Whoa, that's so expensive. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, New York. I mean, that's not even too crazy. Although I think we might be switching to a 2-bed or something like that, which might be a little bit easier on us with a roommate.
So are you in New York City proper?
Yeah.
Close to it. Okay.
Yeah. I'm just not going to tell what neighborhood, but I live in Manhattan.
Specifically, what neighborhood? Like, what's your address? I'm curious.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I live in Manhattan, and that's big enough to...
There's a village over here. If you look at your map.
No, I don't live in the village.
No.
No, I know.
Oh, I didn't know there's a neighborhood called a village.
You don't know about the village?
No, let me take that back. Isn't that like kind of a more fancy, ritzier place?
It's pretty artsy and whatnot now. It didn't always used to be. It's actually where a big part of the gay scene of like gay civil rights came out of. And as well as you might have heard of like Stonewall. That's where that is. As well as the Village People.
Okay.
You know, like the group, like YMCA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to you. Get out of here. There we go.
Hold on. Hey, Chet, should I have my camera over on the other side? I feel like. Hold on.
Come back, dear.
All right. Yeah, no, where'd you go, actually?
I went across the river.
Okay, I see where you
to
went.
look for more boar, and I found like an abandoned village. Pro tip: don't try and cross the river when you have no stamina. 'Cause that will
Gotcha.
kill you. I don't know if you've played Zelda.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild. Yeah, it's similar to that, where if you don't have any stamina, you start to
Drown.
Yep. Yeah, basically.
So no, what was I saying? So even the lowest levels, right? I bring this up to a lot of people on this really kind of goes to show exactly how that
Yeah, I derailed us there for a
yeah,
minute.
it's all good.
Sorry.
Like so every fiscal year I'd have people tell me it's like make sure to get rid of our stuff and use up all of our equipment. That way we can ask for more money. And that's what I tell people. I'm like, that's how you know about this. And like everyone knows about this situation. And we're just doing it just because it makes money. And that just shows right there like how this this level of unregulated capitalism really goes to work, because it's not doing things that are needed. This is quite literally the opposite. These aren't needed things, right? We don't need to be going to war all the time or enhancing conflicts. Not only so much as that, is like all the terrorists that we fight, half of them were going in because they wanted to have their own freedom. They were tired of Western influence in their countries. Then we also gave them guns.
Yeah, we were kind of like Nicolas Cage in Lord of
Right.
the War,
No, exactly. We know that it will, in the end, come down to fight and hurt American lives, which means more reasons to go to war, which means more money.
It's funny because we have a large influence in supplying our quote unquote enemies with weapons.
Yeah.
Who are fighting against us.
It was Saddam Hussein too.
It's all influenced by politics and power and money and all of that. So what is Flint? Yeah, and all of that stuff. So, and it's really disgusting. Like I didn't really learn about any of that until like kind of recently. The last 3 years, I really got into politics.
You wouldn't learn that from a Jedi.
No, and it's just like listening to whoever and then asking like myself questions like, well, if they're saying this, like, can I first of all find the article they're talking about or the graph or data, and then it's also asking the questions of like, why would we do this, or like why do we think the way we think, and kind of getting into kind of the psychology behind it. But my wife is texting me. Cook. Oh, apparently we're having steak tonight. Okay.
Nice.
Yes, okay.
I'm having deer. How many hides do I have? Ooh, I think I can make my... Alright. I'm gonna... Oh, did you already cross the river?
Yes, I did. Okay, so I have about 20 minutes left to get off here about.
All good.
Yeah, I gotta feed the wife. She's going to work here at 4, so. Or you're in New York City, so 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
Math. Yeah, so I got a bunch of meats to cook. I got some leather scraps. I don't think I have enough to make a bow, but I can make some.
I think I might be able to make
armor.
a bow.
Yeah, maybe it's 6 that I need. Here's the house. I need to actually mark that on the map.
Oh, make it. Okay, cool.
The front door. Are you my mommy? There we go.
That's a bird.
Home. I don't remember. It was oh yeah, just critical thinking and oh, I know. Yeah, I was a delivery driver in California for a few years, and you know, you can only listen to music for so long.
Oh no, not radio.
Not radio. I have not actively listened to the radio in years.
Oh, I only have 3 hides, damn it.
I'm gonna put some food in this top chest here. But I actually got into podcasts and I was listening to a lot of like people talk about like paranormal type stuff. In fact, there's a really good podcast I listened to for a couple of years called Mysterious Universe, located out in Australia. And I listened to that for a while, and then
we will be debating later, by the way,
conservative
guys.
Podcast
with my friend
listened to
Nalu.
A lot of Ben Shapiro, probably more than I probably should have.
Probably.
Yeah, and I say that not because it's not that I agree with everything he says or disagree. It's when you get one person's view on a larger picture, it can really kind of convince you into their corner.
Sure.
And you know, I've listened to a couple other people from the Daily Wire, like Michael Knowles and Andrew Klavan, but then it's like, okay, what else is out there? And so I ended up getting into watching C-SPAN just straight
That's
up.
better. Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, it's tedious and it sucks, but at the same time, like, text without context is pretext for someone's proof text. Meaning, like, if you don't get the full context of what is being talked about from both sides, then it's really hard to form an accurate and appropriate opinion about this specific subject.
No, for sure, because you're getting it all from like someone else's interpretation or intentional misinterpretation.
Exactly, and going to the actual source and just getting the full kind of context of it is super important, and that's a high value that I have personally.
That's not a bad thing. No, I totally agree. That's not bad at all.
But I don't know. Generally speaking, I think I don't know. I would say I'm a conservative, but in the mixed with libertarian views, I guess. Like in the sense of like, big government sucks, and I would say just kind of leave me alone. Like, leave me to my own devices.
Yeah.
Let me figure out life. Like, I don't need nor want laws or rules to dictate the way I live, what I say. Like, I'm a big believer in personal responsibility and all of that stuff, which in the last 4 years I've discovered Republicans with Trump being in office, like they want to be told Oh my God, you're on fire! Okay, it'll last for. There you go. It'll last for a second. Yeah, the fire. The fire is real.
I was just, how do I get my food off of it?
Just hit E here. I'll
Okay.
give that to you there.
Yeah, that was terrifying.
Especially, okay, so imagine that happening in your home when you already have no health, and then you end up dying in your own house from the stupid fire. That's happened to me a couple times.
Yeah. So, what I was going to say is actually,
Yeah, I got on a tangent. Yeah.
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
DuckTales.
Ooh. Is that view isn't fully separate from a lot of leftists though either. I don't know.
Oh, I know that. Like,
because I view myself a lot as like a libertarian socialist.
No, I actually understand. Like in my shower thoughts, as I like to call them, like that's because I'll talk to myself and work out opinions, or if I see something on Facebook or whatever, I'll work that out in my head and figure out like what do I believe and what do I ignore. And I've realized that a lot of my views are mixed with libertarian, but it's instead of libertarian and left, it's libertarian and right.
Right. Well, my biggest thing that I want to really talk about too is like I understand the personal responsibility idea and aspect, and I don't disagree that personal responsibility should not be a big thing of like how we get success and how we go farther in our worlds. The problem about that is that's usually used as rhetoric to go against welfare programs when really recognizing that welfare does not go very far in this. And I'm sure the right, you've heard this a lot talked about and things like that, where they try to harp on the things about like equity or things that are equitable, because the thing is that we don't want it to be equal outcomes. We want it to be equal opportunity. And then there's this kind of idea that comes around that saying like, well, that's already the case. But there's a lot of data and a lot of research to show that it's not. A lot of that has to do with a lot of socioeconomic things. You and I are both, I'm sure you've heard, but like instead of using the word privilege, let's say the word lucky, right? Grew up white towns, more or less self. Like that doesn't mean also you didn't work hard, mind you, or that because I worked hard to get where I'm at right now. Like you don't just, I came from like a steamfitters family, went to the military to then go to Ivy League. Like yeah, dude, I worked my ass off. But that doesn't mean that like I didn't have a bit of a leg up. Like, and a good example of that is my dad.
And I recognize that for myself as well.
Yeah,
I agree.
Like my dad makes really good money for himself now. Didn't always used to be that way. We used to share bunk beds and stuff, And if I could not live here without my dad, because like I pay my rent, but mind you, remember I told you how large my rent is.
Mm-hmm.
They need you to make 40 times the amount of the rent
40?
monthly.
40?
Yeah. So
40.
yeah, how much you ever make the rent,
wow.
You need to be able to make 40 times that in a year for the monthly rent.
So you need to be making like close to 90 grand a year.
Yes. And that's just like them going, yeah, you can live here. You can pay us money. And then, since I didn't, and now you can do that as combined if you have roommates and stuff, or like with my girlfriend. Still though, it's very expensive, right? Especially if you're like getting a single bedroom by yourself or anything like that. And there's a lot of people like that here. Not everyone's moving in together. Not everyone's here with a couple, But still would have been very hard. We couldn't have done it without my dad. Now, if you have a guarantor, like my dad is, who co-signs the lease basically, right? Mm-hmm. He needs to make 80 times the monthly rent annually. So this is like my example of using privilege, right? Like, it's not that like, and everyone has some type of privilege over another, generally. Just some have more or less. Because we can't live all different types of lives, and there's things that privilege us all in different ways, culturally or economically, right? And so the problem is that there's so many people that generally, most people that have been on welfare, which our welfare is not very good or has been broken down a lot, but like most people that have been on welfare usually have a job. Majority, I believe, actually on welfare have a job, and that's not saying that they're cheating the system. They just can't afford enough with their job, and a lot of those people actually have two jobs, and sometimes like are part of a family, and trying to provide for their family, right? And the problem, basically what I'm getting at though, is the problem with the whole like personal responsibility thing is that it really is trying to go on an emotional, I'm going to go for this boar, an emotional kind of virtue signal. It's like, well, you worked hard, right? You do this, and why should these people, it's often painted as lazy leftists or liberals or whatever, right? That these people are in there doing that. Like, you worked hard, but the reality of it is most people that are on welfare are working really, really hard. And, sometimes you have 2 or 3 jobs, contract jobs that they can't, like you were mentioning. I was just watching a video today or the other day about like a guy that was on TikTok saying that how he wasn't getting tipped for, it was Grubhub or Uber Eats or something, and he had like 2 other jobs. Can't look for like a full-time job. So many jobs will like give you like 35 hours, say, well, that's not full-time, like not give you benefits. And why does someone need to like wait on like have their job tied to their health care when that's the case for most people? Like, and I understand where a lot of people.
That's part of my thing is like once I get hired, I know I'll be making more money and I'll get benefits. And
yeah.
I've been pushing for that for so long now. Like,
but should that
I went
be
to the
like
doctor's office the other day, and luckily we have like a community emergency care that's not quite the hospital, and it's affordable if you don't have insurance. It's better than going to the ER and spending $4,000 to have them tell you, you just sprained your ankle or whatever,
Yeah.
Because I think I paid like close to $300.
Well, think about.
Instead. Which is still hard,
Yeah.
But
no, I mean, think about how, because our whole system is very much worked around that. Things are so expensive. So when we talk about socialized medicine, a lot of people go like, well, like, I don't want to have to pay for everyone else's stuff. The care will be worse, right? Is what a lot of people bring up. But what we can tell already is that all OECD nations that are like, quote unquote, first world nations, someone might say, right? We pay the most for the least successful like healthcare or like less quality healthcare. And that's a problem. Now, a big part of those pricing is similar to like the military industrial complex that we were talking about before. It's made that way because it's going up with insurance prices and things like that, and basically a lot of these numbers are arbitrary that they put in,
Yeah.
And
that's what I was going to mention. Like I heard it a while ago, but it was essentially like the insurance. What is it like? I think the argument or the conversation was about how the government shouldn't regulate insurance companies because it doesn't create like not supply and demand. It doesn't create competition, which would drive prices down. But then also like the insurance companies say they buy a Band-Aid for $4, they sell that Band-Aid to like the hospital for another $6, and then that hospital will sell that to the patient for like $10. So you're paying $10 for a Band-Aid.
Hey everybody in chat, just saying hi. Thanks for stopping by.
It was
We're just talking politics and healthcare and stuff while playing Valheim.
Honestly, I don't really know the the specifics of it, but that's what it sounds like you're kind of getting at.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
So think about it like this, though. It's like, why would you have? So say you're going to the supermarket, and because you need food to live, right? Similar to healthcare, because you need healthcare to live. Most things and a big part of that is America's diet, which is another part of capitalism, mind you. And we can talk more about the snack industry later because it's pretty interesting. But a two-star gear.
By the way, if you have 2 more leather scraps, I can give you my 6 to make a bow if you don't have one already.
Okay. Hold on. I'll let you know.
It'll make it easier to get deer.
Yeah, well, let me see here. Actually, I have 6 leather scraps. Let me go do that now.
Oh, hey.
Yeah. Another thing is, imagine you're going to go to the store, right? And instead, you go buy all your stuff that you need, and then you go to the cash register, right? And you're about to talk to the nice, lovely lady who's going to talk to you about, buying all your stuff. She's there. You ring up everything, and then instead of talking to her, some guy comes up to you and goes, "Hey, actually, I'll talk to her for you. Let me do that. Talk to her about a price, and then get back to you, and then you can pay me, and then I'll pay her." And then they do that, and oh wait, hold on. Can I not make my? Oh, I need 8. Do you have some other leather scraps?
Yeah, let me give you one more.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you, sir. Crude bow, cool. So you do that, and then that becomes a norm, and then they decide to start talking about like, hey, while you're not there, how about you start charging him for this? Hey, sorry, Solomon Land, I don't think you can post links. So, and so instead they start raising the prices, and then it becomes more of an issue when you go in, right? And now you even more need that middleman. And then they build, and then they continue to build because now they've made a need for themselves. So is that really competitive, right? It's a monopoly. Hold on.
Kind of creates this feedback loop.
It is. It's absolutely a feedback loop. So for landscaping, you could use a perfect complement of hammer. Yeah, so I just crafted a hoe, by the way.
Oh yeah, you can flatten ground and raise ground, and
oh, that's cool.
It's good for building, but I do need to kind of wrap this up and take off here.
Yeah, no worries. Hold on. Oh, cool. But yeah, so like, let me wrap it up here. Oh, that's dope. Cool, flat ground. Nice. That's cool. So can we save this server? Is that what we'll do?
Yeah, so I'll just once we exit, it'll be saved, and then come back whenever.
No, and I'd love to continue this chat. So, but like, yeah, let me just finish that part up.
Yeah,
it's just
I
like,
just want to let you know.
No, totally understand. Actually, what time is it? That is, I'm about to. Good. Actually, I'm about to go into my other conversation as well. But yeah, no, it's. Yeah, it creates this feedback loop, and it's a middleman. Like, why do we need that? And a lot of people would say, well, why do we need the government? But like, there are things that are costs, and we do subsidize things. And I'm not against subsidies as long as that, it goes in, pays for equally, and it benefits the people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what it comes down to. I understand that's like the idea of like, if the government runs everything, look how inefficiently it is. There's a reason in a capitalist society why government stuff runs so inefficiently, because it is designed to run so inefficiently. They don't want government to look like it's functional on purpose.
You kind of cut out there. I missed.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah. There's a reason why government programs work so poorly in a capitalist society, and that's because they don't want the government to work well, because then it is more reason to loosen regulations and whatnot. And remember, these people are getting plenty of money from companies. So We do know that. So wait, do we sleep here or just end? Log out? Okay. Because you gotta go now, right? You there? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, yep, I can.
Where'd you go?
I logged out.
Oh, okay.
So the world is saved now, and we can come back to it whenever.
Yeah, man, let's play soon. I'm definitely down to talk to you more about this stuff. It'd be fun. And just chat in general. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and like I said at the beginning, it sounds like we agree on a lot of things. I think it's more of the finite, like specifics, I guess. Because a lot of what you're talking about, like I agree. I think it's, and at the end of the day, you and I both want the best for our communities and our country and all of that
Absolutely.
stuff. It's just the approach to solving these problems look vastly different.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a big part of it. The other part I'd say is a lot of it gets diluted into the culture war BS.
That too, and that is a whole nother topic, and quite frankly, just because of some of my personal stuff, like I've had to back off from politics the last couple of weeks because I've just had a lot of stress and anxiety, and that's actually affecting my health. But just like going onto Facebook, and I
I'm bad
can't.
about it too.
Dude,
It's
it's
pretty
so
terrible.
hard. I'll glance at it and shake my head at both sides.
Sure.
Like somebody says a definitive statement that they believe is absolutely 100% true, but they don't give any leeway to, well, even though this is a definitive statement, like also these other things can be true. It's like, no, my way is the correct way, and that's on both sides. And
Oh, absolutely.
I prefer this a lot better, you know. So
No, I totally get you on that. That's why it's nice to like try and open up things for like Discord and like actually having like real communication. And like I was saying,
fully
like
agree.
gaming is like a nice intermediary there because we're still doing something together at the time. So,
Yeah.
anyways, bud, we'll talk soon. It was good. It was a lot of fun.
Well, sounds good.
All right.
Have a good rest of your night.
Yeah. Make sure to follow the stream and YouTube, by the way.
Okay.
All right. Bye. All right. That was fun. We had like